What's going on? This is your man, John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today I got a special guest with me, a friend, a brother. I don't even know what else to call him because he's been a great guy. I mean, from Seattle, my friend, my buddy, Jeremiah Screed. What's going on, Jeremiah?
Not much, man. Feeling good, man.
First time joining the show, man, which I'm happy about. Glad to see that living well, looking well, and everything like that. I mean, of course, we came together because it's time to start talking some football. Everybody else is talking all this craziness and all this junk garbage stuff. It's time for us to actually open up the ways of communication and get people actually to thinking about stuff and get some of these topics going. So for us, Frustrated Fans, Sports Show fans, we're going to talk about our top 5 stories for the NFL season. Now, I got 5, Jeremiah has 5. Now, we don't know what our 5s are. It's going to be a surprise to the both of us, and we're going to sit up here and let y'all know how we're feeling about it. Not only that, we're going to also talk about, we're going to give our opinions on each other's stories. So with that being said, Jeremiah, you're the guest. We're going to let you go first, man. I mean, what is your... Well, I'm going 5-1. You might want to go 5-1 too. So, start off. What's your number 5 story?
All right, so my number 5 story, I might actually have an honorable mention somewhere in here, but got my top 5 over here. So number 5, we'll go with one guy that's had like the terrible offseason. So he had a terrible offseason. He's been involved with a lot of different things he shouldn't be involved with. Let's say his girlfriend is Cardi B. He's had some issues on a boat. Who knows what those pink supposedly drugs were supposed to be? He's coming off of an injury. He's been on plane for multiple teams. Now he's about to go learn the Patriot way. I have him as number 5. Now it's debate to know if that Patriot way is still there or not. But considering they brought in Mike Vrabel, a former Patriot, yeah, I would think so.
So your number 5 is Stephon Diggs. Like that's your top 5 story, right?
It's Stephon Diggs because it's more along lines like what has he got left? You know what I mean? I mean, right. He's going back to being that number 1. He's going right back to being number 1. There's no doubt about it. And now he's got to deal with a second-year quarterback with Drake May. And the reason why I'm going with that, because if he starts to slide off just a tad bit, guess what everybody's going to point to? Everybody's going to start pointing to Cardi B and everything that happened off season. He's going to be a distraction now.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Now I'm saying he's going to be a distraction at that point, and him being the number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean that's actually an excellent number 5 because I didn't even think about that because I mean the boat situation that was big. I mean the pink stuff we don't know what it is or what it was. I mean for all we know it could have been Pepto-Bismol in the tablet form. I don't know, but again this is one of those things where that becomes a big deal. Like again coming off of a massive injury, we're not talking about something slight. We're talking about a massive injury and trying to be the number 1 again. Like that, and the fact that the Patriots didn't really think about that, So, I agree with you. Your number 5 is. I feel it's better than my 5, but we'll see. My number 5 story is the 2024 draft class. We got to see what these guys do year 2. I mean, we're talking about we saw a draft class this year or last year that was absolutely incredible, offensively and defensively. You're talking about you had Jared Verse, Fisk, Daniels, Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. Like there were a lot of guys this season. I mean, the Commanders alone had 3 starters out of their draft class and two backups. So the 2024 draft class was fantastic, and we didn't get to see a full season of Michael Penix. So we're
Yep.
going to see that from all the talks that's going down in New Orleans. Spencer Rattler ain't letting that starting quarterback job go without him fighting for it. So
Hmm.
we're talking about this is going to be a big, big season. If the 2024 draft class does better than they did their rookie season, we're
Hmm.
talking about we might actually, for the first time in history, see a draft class where almost maybe 75% of them will go into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you think 75%? You mean like just the entire class, or you mean like just the first round?
No, I think they almost like the whole class.
Hmm.
Because even in that second round, that third round, there were.
Yeah.
Everybody forget Quinion Mitchell wasn't drafted. No, the Cooper DeJean wasn't drafted in the first round.
Yeah. Lad McConkey also. I think Lad
Yeah,
McConkey second round. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, Fisk, I don't think he was drafted in the first round either.
Yeah.
And
True.
so, you got a lot of guys that weren't drafted in that first round. And again, Mikey Sanderstill from the Commanders. He looked good as a rookie,
Mm.
and he's going back to the slot. So, I mean, yeah, you're talking about that's a big, big class. So we'll definitely see. What's your number four?
All right, so number four. Now this is just missing me Nick picking at personnel. Now this is going back to the 2023 draft. 2023 draft. I just the main player. Well, let's get straight to it. The Indianapolis Colts, right? So
Okay.
now they brought one of the veterans from the New York Giants, Daniel Jones, to compete with Anthony Richardson. Now I'm literally looking at Anthony Richardson because I felt like he came out of college a little bit too early. I
Right.
feel like he came out of college a little bit too early. He's very athletic, got a little arm on him. But anything that's in mid range, mid passing the field, he's not pretty accurate on it. But if it's deep, he's like okay with it. Um, I feel like Daniel Jones might end up taking that job, but then at that point in time, we'll see exactly where Anthony Richards is going to go to because he's going to be a backup. That's just my opinion. I don't have no insight. I read some stuff, but I don't know. But this is just my opinion because I felt like had he would have started if he came in the league just stayed in about 2 more years, I felt like he'd had some time to develop just a little bit because they only had like one complete starting year of college football. So it's going to be my eyes on that between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones for that starting quarterback position. Uh,
That's funny that you say that because my number four is the 2023 draft class, but the focus is the quarterbacks. We've
yeah,
already seen
yeah,
Will Levis flame out to the point
flame
at
out.
where the Titans drafted another quarterback number one overall. So we didn't already saw that. And like I said, at this point, we are talking about the big three: Young, Stroud, and Richardson.
Yep.
With Richardson, not only about his ability to adapt to the NFL game, but we're also talking about the fact that last season he pulled himself out of a game.
Pulled
Like
himself out.
that was a bad, bad look.
Hmm.
Especially when you're talking about you're in your second year, now going into your third, you now got to put it all together. Because if you don't, you will be out of the league. And that's a more sad thing to really happen. We saw the emergence of Bryce Young in the second half after being benched. Like it seemed like they did what they did. I did not like what they did in the draft when they didn't take a quality top level wide receiver. People like Tet. I don't like Tet. I don't think he's really the guy to do that. I think that he's very similar to Xavier to what's his name?
Leggett.
Yeah,
Yep. XL.
it's you practically drafted the exact same guy,
Right.
so it's like I don't think Bryce Young needed just tall. He needed tall and fast.
Yep.
So like I said, we're going to see, and then of course CJ Stroud is just the star of the class. You're talking about rookie year, second year, both playoff appearances, both second round playoff appearances. I mean, he's done a very big thing in this last season. So, like I said again, 2023 draft class with the focus on the quarterbacks. That's my number four story. What's your number three?
All right, so number three. It's funny that you were talking. That you brought up Bryce Young because because Bryce Young is my number. Bryce Young is my number three, mainly
Okay.
because he's because since you compare with C.J. Stroud, so
Right.
he's compared to C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has taken off.
Hmm.
Jalen Daniels has taken off within their first year for Jalen Daniels, the first 2 years for C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud got two playoff victories in his first 2 years. Jalen Daniels outdid him by having two playoff victories in his first year, which is crazy. Which is crazy. Now, the Carolina Panthers did go out their way to fix the O line, which the O line is fixed compared to his rookie year.
Right.
And I do feel for Bryce Young, his second year, that he was still seeing ghosts out there those first couple of games.
Hmm.
And it took him to watch Andy Dalton to see how he was trusting the O line. And then once he saw that he got a chance to come in, he didn't let it go. At
Right.
that point, I feel like that's just like the core point for him because it's not like he don't know football. He know how to throw a football. But I'm trying to tell you, those first two games, he was still nervous back there, thinking he about to get popped. But this is his make or break year. I say it's make or break year. Carolina Panthers gonna know what to do when they're gonna know whether they're gonna exercise that 5th-year option, or they're gonna or re-sign him or re-up him, or they're gonna move on from and start looking in the for in the 2026 NFL draft. But he got a lot of receivers. I'm with you on that Chet thing because I'm like, man, I was like, he doesn't separate that often. He
Right.
doesn't separate much, but he makes good catches, so he can be a possession receiver.
Okay.
You guys able to get Leggett. He drops the ball a lot.
Mhm.
But the thing is, hopefully we fix the defense. Hopefully the defense has been fixed so Bryce Young doesn't have to play like Joe Burrow because
Right.
Joe Burrow in his defense is terrible. So if I just see Bryce Young, the Carolina Panthers fans see Bryce Young, the coaches they see Bryce Young perform like he did in the last year, then they know they got a quarterback of the future.
You know
But
what's funny? It's funny that you were talking and you brought up what I have as my number three. You talked about Joe Burrow. My number three story is the Bengals. They
yeah, yeah.
paid the offense,
Oh, yes, they
did
did.
nothing for the defense. And not only that, seems like they didn't have enough money to sign their number one rookie. So now you have both your edge guys in limbo, and you've paid your offense, and now you have nothing defensively to support that offense. And the
Mm-hmm.
funny thing about that is that what most people tend to forget, this has been the Bengals' history forever. They've always paid their offense, and it's
Mm-hmm.
always been the quarterback and their two receivers. And we're talking about going back to when they had Boomer Esiason. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? When you think about Boomer Esiason, Carson Palmer, Andy Dalton, uh, even now to Joe Burrow, each one of those quarterbacks had two wide receivers. When you think about Chad and TJ, you think about AJ and it was AJ and somebody else was with AJ. Can't remember who was with AJ at that time, but
I'm trying to think.
they've
Jerome Simpson. They had. I'm trying
some
to think.
it was somebody, but they've always paid their offense and they've
Yeah.
done nothing with their defense. And now they're
Mm-hmm.
sitting in a situation where did they give up way too much money to their offense and didn't account for all they needed that they needed on the defensive side of the ball, because they lost a lot of players as well on the defensive side to free agency. So I mean, and we're talking about this has been happening during the course of Joe Burrow being their quarterback. So now it's like, what is the Bengals going to do? Like this is a make or break year for them as well, because if
Mm-hmm.
they don't get over the hump this year, they're I said it last year and the year before. I feel that their Super Bowl window is closed. They lost it. When they made it there and they didn't win, that was it. And I think that with the money that they've then poured into the offense, it's over. Their Super Bowl window is done. So if they don't do nothing this year, even though they got a nice and favorable schedule this year, we're talking about the Bengals are going to be an, another in that long line of Bengals teams that offensively they've looked amazing, but they can never get out their own way defensively. So, what
Yeah.
is your number two?
Now the number two is I'm sticking with the quarterback, but but it's quarterback in the team because this rookie year is hard to outdo. I'm talking about Jaden Daniels, man.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, man! Like I didn't see that type of a year coming.
Mhm.
I saw him play a couple times at LSU, but he got the Heisman Trophy, and he actually proved why he was the Heisman Trophy winner by actually going out there and killing it. When he played the Carolina Panthers, I really saw it then, and he dusted them like the first quarter before he got injured.
Right.
Because he got injured that game, and then I think who else? Who was y'all backup last year? It was
Marcus Mariota.
yeah, Marcus Mariota came and looked like Jaden Daniels number two, the second coming of Jaden Daniels, man. But the thing is, that's a lot. That's a high bar to set. Like that
Hmm.
bar is set high. You got to think about it. Commanders fans, it's been a long road dealing with the last owner.
Right.
All those years, and now all of a sudden you get a new owner, get a new quarterback, and all of a sudden they almost in the Super Bowl. Almost in the Super Bowl, just
Right.
like that. Snap of fingers, man. That is that's a lot of pressure to live up for a second year quarterback. Honestly, I feel like he can do it. I feel like he can do it, and I feel like he got the skills. He has a good team around. Matter of fact, he has a Larry Tunsil. He got Larry Tunsil now. I think C.J. Stroud's going to suffer because of that. We'll
Yeah.
see what he has to
Yeah.
do. But Jaden Daniels going to he's going to benefit from it. But we'll see. He has some good receivers. But we'll see.
And that's funny that here I am, the Commanders
Yeah.
fan, and I didn't
Uh
even put him on my list, because
huh.
the reason why I did, because I lump
Yeah.
him into that 2024 draft class,
It makes sense.
because of the fact that it's like his success was just astronomical. And, like I said, that's why I said, with that 2024 draft class, everybody was phenomenal their rookie season.
Right.
And I mean, we're talking about year two of these guys. Like I said, they put on, if they have a higher level than what they did last year, it's going to be something. And like I said, I'm looking forward to Jaden Daniels year two with the addition of Adebo, who I personally didn't really like the move because he's not, to me, a real receiver, but I
Oh yeah,
understand.
yeah,
I
Debo.
understand. My number two story is all the teams that didn't take a quarterback in the last draft. So we're talking about the Giants. We're talking about the
Yep.
Raiders. We're talking about the Steelers. We're talking about the Saints. Not only that, the
Oh, that's
fact that
tough. Yeah.
Shador and going, that's going to be something else. But the fact that even I even included the Dolphins in this
Hmm.
category because you can't depend on Tua staying healthy. Not only
Yep.
that, you're talking about he's had concussion after concussion after concussion, going all the way back to his time at Alabama. So at some point, you got to find your exit plan for Tua. Because if he gets a concussion, we saw what happened last year. He got a concussion, Miami just went down.
Right.
They
Yeah.
went down.
They
And
did.
it messed with the production of Tariq Hill and everything. The fact that they didn't snag a quarter, even when they saw that Shador was coming down the pipeline and they didn't think to snag him, that was crazy. The Giants, they took Jackson Dart. Blew my mind. I mean, this was one to me, this was one of the worst quarterbacks in college football last year. He was not great at all. He was definitely a, like, even his wide receivers like Trey Harris and all them, they just wasn't that skilled at all. But he's also not that skilled. The Raiders, relying on Geno Smith this late in his career. is crazy. you know, and not
Yeah.
having, I
Hmm.
mean, the only other guy I think you got on your roster is Aiden O'Connell at this point.
Yep.
So, I mean, you to the fact that you're going to rely on a high 30 something year old quarterback to lead your franchise and not snag a quarterback, especially when one of your owners has a relationship with a quarterback, that was like really insane. The Steelers, yes, you got Aaron Rodgers, but this is where I have my issue. This is my only issue with Mike Tomlin. I think he feels that what he was able to accomplish with Russell Wilson, he's going to be able to accomplish it with Aaron Rodgers, not
Right.
understanding that both of them are two different personalities. Like I think that Russell Wilson understood that he had to take a back seat and had to be
Hmm.
and understood he had to be part of the team, whereas Aaron Rodgers has always been this guy's my friend and that's it. And he's never been great with learning new offenses. So, what is going to happen with the Steelers being as though you grabbed a guy who's not even a Steelers type of player? Like the Steelers have been known. Anybody with ego and a big mind, you are out of here. They've done it for years with their wide receivers,
Hmm.
their running backs, their all anybody that has a big head and it feels that they're more than a team, the Steelers have jettisoned them. And the fact
Yep.
that you bring in Aaron Rodgers, that's absolutely crazy. And then you got the Saints. I've always felt that Kellen Moore was not the greatest offensive coordinator,
Hmm.
but somehow this guy has maneuvered himself into a head coaching job. And in the process of that, him and Brian Dabo both picked quarterbacks that wasn't worth their picks. Like that was just absolutely crazy. So I do want to see what happens to all the teams that didn't take a quarterback because that was a bad, bad thing, especially when you had a guy who was really looked at as one of the elite quarterbacks in the draft fall, fall so far that a team that should have took him as their first pick ended up snagging him in the fifth round. That's absolutely crazy. So, what's your number one story, Jeremiah?
All right. So the number one story for me is because of the moves they made this year and last year, and the quarterback they have the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
The Baltimore Ravens have made so many moves within the past couple of years. They got the team. They have
mm,
a Super Bowl caliber team. They should be automatic locks for the Super Bowl. They got the defense. They just picked up Alexander
yeah,
from the Packers, and he did that on the cheap deal because he's cool with Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson got Derrick Henry. He still has Derrick Henry, man. The dude is a load. He can still carry that rock at being at his age. No problems, man. Look, Lamar Jackson himself. Hey, he has how many MVPs? He got so many MVPs for I think he on what, 3 MVPs at this point?
Yeah, Lamar has three
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Lamar has 3 MVPs, man. He need that Super Bowl MVP. They got the coach. They got a coach that's already got Super Bowl.
and
I'm just saying. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and I agree with you on that one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he got everything around him, man. It's the only thing that would keep them from making it that that shouldn't that'll keep them from actually making the Super Bowl. It'd be something that everyone has to deal with, and that'd be injuries. That's it. That's the only thing that should keep them from actually making it to the Super Bowl. That's my opinion. Because the way the Chiefs right now, the Chiefs they're not really good as they have been in past years. But for some reason, they've been able to make themselves good enough to make the Super Bowl. But they are definitely beatable in the playoffs. But you have their biggest threat probably Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. That's what I see because you already talked about the Bengals. Their defense, they still haven't signed Trey Henderson back yet. So their defense was terrible last year. I feel like their main their show is going to be Buffalo Bills. I think other than that, that's it. I think they should be able to make it through to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. Baltimore, that secondary is incredible. I
Yeah, they
mean,
got
you think
Hamilton.
about
They got Kyle.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Malachi Starks. They drafted him out of Georgia.
Yep.
You got Jair Alexander. You got
Mm,
Andrew. I think it's Andrew Wiggins was their guy. And then you're talking about Marlon Humphrey is playing the slot like that. That
you know
is
what I'm saying?
that is an insane defense. Of course, for me, my number one story is Shador Sanders. I mean,
Yeah. I
that
thought about
that
him too.
that fall was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that you look at this guy during the college football season and think that even for the slightest of moments he would be there in the fifth round. This guy is absolutely fantastic. There were all the teams that bypassed him like dummies. And I mean, all the talk now out of Cleveland is that he's gotten to the point where they're talking about him being the backup to Joe Flacco. The thing about it is that with them, they got a fairly decent schedule. Not the first 5 games, but after game 5, you can slap Shador in there after game 5, and you're talking about he can rip off some major wins in the season. And I,
100%.
I mean, like I just think that to me that is the top story. Like I think everybody's eyes will be on Shador this year. I think that all TVs, everything will be tuned into Shador, and the fact that uh, hold up, the fact that it's not the fact that they're in a situation where they're not able to really accommodate that. That's going to be crazy. That is
Hmm.
going to be absolutely crazy. So, yeah, man, but that's our top 5 stories, Jeremiah. I really appreciate
I
you
might have an
coming up.
honorable mention. You might slide an honorable mention in it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Listen, you know I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, right?
Yeah.
So the honorable mention is I I'm gonna get straight. It's XL Xavier Leggett. Reason
Mm-hmm.
why I say it's Xavier Leggett because he's been like the face of the NFL like in the off season. Like just about
Uh-huh.
the off season, he's been going to the horse racing. He was representing them there. He's been representing. You've seen him on social media everywhere. He got a video with Glorilla, and you know what I mean. And the dude he barely had about 400 yards last
Right.
season. You know what I mean. Now he got Tet as supposed to be like the X. You know what I mean. So
Right.
now at this point, he also got Jalen Coker. You got Hunter Renfro. Still got Adam Thielen. And there's a lot of wide receivers. So I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him, and I'm expecting him to take that leap. To take that
Hmm.
leap from what he did last year. But we'll see. We will see, man.
And not only that,
That's
you're talking about for there being so many wide receivers that's identical to him. I mean, Jalen Coker is not that far off
no, he's
from
not.
a guy like him as well. So, you
Yeah,
got Tet and Jalen Coker. That's
yeah,
that's not a good fit.
yeah, yeah. Jalen Coker just got better hands.
Yeah.
And he was undrafted. He was
Right.
undrafted and still had
Right.
just about as many yards as he did, and he didn't play a
Right.
lot of games before until Adam Thielen got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the part that's like kind of crazy that, that right there was like the determining factor for everything. Like he
Yeah.
didn't do well. So, well, we'll definitely see, man. But like I said, Jeremiah, I appreciate you coming on, man. Y'all, I want y'all to go. Jeremiah just doesn't have all his social media hooked up yet, but when he get it hooked up, I'm gonna have y'all follow him on all his social media. He will be coming back often. We're gonna when he's free and he has time, he will be coming back because, like I said, he's a wealth of knowledge. Not only that, he's just as much of a sports junkie as I am. We're going to talk about your betting that you do too at times as well. So, and that whole
Yeah,
scenario you got to go through out there in Seattle. So,
yeah, it's different.
all right,
Different
y'all.
out here.
Again, thanks, Jeremiah. Y'all, like I said, this is my man Jeremiah. This is your man John Fortune. And like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all tell me what y'all think. How many of y'all sitting up there and y'all got top 5 stories? Tell me what y'all top 5 is. Tell me if y'all agree with some of the takes that myself and Jeremiah had. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and it's been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.